just as no word adequately describes silence, so no thought or perception is a definition for yourself. What truly is the nature of your being? This is what Sri Bhagavan urges one to realize. For the realization of the self is the knowledge of reality, the knowledge of Brahman, which is of the nature of immortal bliss and peace. Your own nature is said to be Satchidananda, being consciousness bliss. Being, what does it mean? What is actually your existence? Whatever is your existence never ceases, is never interrupted. So to know your existence as it is, cease to define it in terms of anything that comes and goes. Your nature is consciousness, being consciousness bliss. Consciousness, what does it mean? What does it signify? Consciousness that is identical with existence. What is it in your own experience? It could never be something objective, known or unknown. All of your thoughts have an object to them, gross or subtle. There is no such thing as a non-objective thought. If you would discard from identification, from your consciousness, all that is objective, all that is considered known or unknown, what remains? In brief, if you cease to misidentify with anything that is thought of, knowing that you cannot be a thought, let alone piles of them put together, what are you? Whatever you are always. For the nature of what is real is to be unchanging. What are you always? This cannot be the body. This cannot be anything sensorially perceived. This cannot be anything that is a product of thinking. What remains? You exist, you know that you exist. The existence and the knowledge are indistinguishably fused. You cannot separate them. The nature of this existence consciousness is perfection. It is the very source of happiness. Indeed, it is bliss itself. To find such happiness permanently for your own direct experience, you have only to know yourself as you are. Not think of yourself. Know yourself. Beyond thought, what definition could you possibly have? Free of the body, you are naturally eternal. free of the false sense of individuality or an ego, which is merely a supposition. You are innately infinite. The real nature of the apparently embodied individual is the bodiless infinite existence. The real nature of Jiva is only Shiva. Brahman is the only actual self that there is. If this unborn, imperishable, undifferentiated, infinite being, consciousness, bliss is your experience, your only experience, then what can be said of it? If it appears to you that it's not your only experience, but there's some other kind of self, who is that? If there appears as if some other kind of reality, who conceives of that? Who imagines that? The undifferentiated reality of the self is the substance of Sri Bhagavan's teaching. If we think of his teaching as a set of ideas, perhaps very lofty ideas, or very clear ideas, that's not quite it. Your very being is the truth that is revealed. Your own existence, your own consciousness is the teaching, is the knowledge. As long as there is a conception of I and this, the truth of this is not clearly apprehended. To gain that clarity, to gain that depth, inquire. The means and the end must necessarily be of the same nature. If the means for self-knowledge are self-inquiry, the inquiry must be of the very same nature as the knowledge that is realized. Self-inquiry is the instruction he has given. What is the inquiry? It is not mere sensation, and it is certainly not thought or thinking of any kind. The knowledge that you presently have, that you are, should know what that are, or you, is. That is the inquiry. It is formless, yet precise. It is entirely interior, of a non-objective nature, and alone has the capacity to eliminate all delusion, even the idea that there is a deluded one. Be steeped in such inquiry. Be steeped in the knowledge of yourself. Become so absorbed in this true knowledge of your innate being, consciousness, bliss, that no separate I remains. Where you see the scope of individuality as being minuscule, you're on the right path. When the idea of existing as an individual is utterly absurd, you understand. Inquire within yourself and see what's being hinted at here.